Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Hello, glorious person. Oh, look at that handsome face. Oh, look at it. He's adorable. Oh, it's been too long, sir. It's been way too long. And you can't see me yet.
No, I can't. To say the handsomeness is decidedly one-sided.
Yes.
Hey, Simolf, and of course, blood-stained wings.
Yes, I am alive. And Steve's alive. Steve is alive too.
We're both alive.
Yes, look, I'm getting more and more,
Does it feel good to be alive?
ah! Gordon's alive! I'm getting more and more hermity by every single day, don't I? I'm enjoying this
You're
look.
referring
I'm enjoying this hairy
you're
look.
referring to the beard.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It's very beardy. I feel like it needs to have, I don't know, some debris in it.
Oh yeah,
Like
bits and
They're
like
easily
bits.
zombies.
Hello, Blue Feather. Yes, I need some bits of popcorn or breadcrumbs that I was going to feed to the birds, but no, those birds just want free stuff. No, they're my breadcrumbs. God damn it!
that's that's what's wrong with this country today.
Yeah, my God, we have got so much stuff to talk about, Steve.
I know.
It's been like a month since we. So much has happened.
I know. I know.
So we've got. I
It's
mean, we've got elections. We've got music videos. We've got I don't know lots of crap that we haven't spoken about. But let's start
resigning.
with
PM's
resigning,
resigning. Let's start.
signing in, all sorts of stuff. I should get rid of that getting wine thing. But
Oh right.
anyway, as per usual,
One.
as per usual, we need to ask the very important question first. What's that beer,
Yeah.
Steve?
Well, today I've gone to the top shelf, Alex. You won't believe this. Oh no, I walked into our local craft beer place because that is the sort of locale where a gent like me,
Ooh.
and I got the finest of the tallies.
Oh, a
Um,
fine Tawley, finest of the fine Tawleys.
yes, Tui's Old Dark Ale. Now this is
Oh,
a that you have when Guinness is just too classy.
hey, it says the
Just
word
too
old
classy.
and ale in there. What more do you want? Come on,
I know
it's
that's true.
screaming
I'm
class.
being unfair. It is. I mean, the only thing that could be classier is if you see this beer and you see this glass. It could only be glass classier if I did not use the glass and just drank it straight from the bottle. You know, the first time I ever had Tawley, I was 18. I had just moved to Brisbane, and
Yep.
I was drinking with a Malaysian bloke who told me that he introduced me to the concept of Tawleys, handed me a straw, and said
Oh,
if you do a
a
straw,
straw, a straw.
you'll get drunk faster. So
Was that the myth
yeah.
where if you put the straw under your tongue, it goes into your bloodstream faster, or something like that? Was that right?
No, I didn't ask about the biological underpinnings of his theory, but we had two straws because drinking it through one straw was very slow. And
Please excuse me, I'm
yes,
a bit
so
ill. Anyway,
not
go on.
alone. But
So
yes,
tell.
anytime I drink a Tawley not through a straw, I think, my, I've come up in the world.
So have you by the
So yes,
you have tried this before though?
oh yes, I've tried this
Yes,
before.
you
I mean,
tried this before,
how did I get to
just as
the?
you
How
came
did I
into
get to my?
Brisbane, right?
How did I get to my? How can you get to your 30s in this country and never have a Tui's
I
old
have
ale?
not tried one of these. I have,
Really?
yeah, but the Brisbane beer or the Australian beer that I still remember, and I tell every single person here about
Mm.
is Cooper's Reds, which is
Ah, right.
I love to pieces because it has quote no preservatives. Every time I can, Alex, my marshmallow. Oh bless. Yeah.
I also like the comment, by the way, about how you need a bird in your beard.
I do
And
need a bird in my beard. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
Just
need a blue feathered bird in your beard.
that's right for blue feather.
Make it all
Yeah.
work. Yes.
BSW is flirting with me again, calling me my marshmallow bacon cheeseburger. Well, you know what? Yeah. So how is it? Is it like the first time you tried it as you came into Brisbane for the first time? Is it that
Well,
nostalgic?
actually, I was actually, well, it is okay, so it's a stout, as you can see. It's quite, it doesn't have a thick texture like a lot of stouts do. In fact, if you look at it and you're not very careful, you'll think it's Coke.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. It's yeah, I would define this as a light stout
A
for
light stout.
people who want to drink stout, don't terribly like really strong tasting things, and are on a budget. That would be my
Stout light. That's pretty good. I like this. I like the sound of that. It's a sort of pleasant beer that makes you feel like an adult, even though who knows what your mental state might be. Doesn't matter. Well, that's
true.
that's a perfect way to introduce our podcast. Welcome to Two Smart Arts, by the way, everyone. My name's Alexander, and that is Stephen. And
We've got someone saying,
what's going on here? We have Shino Kira. Hello, Shino Kira.
hello, Shino
Maintaining a
Kira.
better overlay with cams and stuff. You want to do interviews like this in the future. Thank you very much, but I'll be okay. Honestly, we're just doing it for the love of for the moment. I'm actually enjoying the way we're running this at the moment. But okay, fair enough. I will make sure
We
that
certainly appreciate it, and we are aware that our tech is not exactly high.
no, and I also realize that that's entirely my fault as the producer because my usual overlays are a lot more complicated and nice looking, and this but whatever.
Oh no! I was sorry. I just saw meant no disrespect. We took no disrespect. No, not at all.
Oh yeah, no worries,
Offering to help.
Absolutely, we appreciate any help. Anyway, now let's go over to the notes. Big news that happened in the world of the arts came
Yes.
came completely out of the blue and collapsed right into my lap. It just happened. Right there it is. Boom! Pop! Kaboom! And you're involved.
That doesn't sound like a G rap. I'm involved in the thing that popped out of your lap.
That's right. So, let's start. Well, let's. Why don't you introduce what happened?
Me.
Yeah.
I
did a thing. I did a thing with the Wildhearts.
Yes, of course. This is what we're talking about. Sorry,
that's why we're doing this podcast.
It's not why we're doing the podcast. Did a film clip. That is the big news. Alex got a gig to do a film clip.
Yes.
If you've ever heard of the band The Wildhearts.
The Wildhearts.
The Wildhearts, led by the lead singer-songwriter Ginger. I have been a big fan of The Wildhearts since I was having one of these out of a straw when I was 18 when I first came to Brisbane. And I was a big fan. And they wrote on Twitter, "We are looking for an animator to help us with our new film clip."
Yep.
And it's so I tweeted, and I tweeted in Alex, and he said, and showed some of the work, and Ginger replied and go, "Oh my God, that's fantastic," and retweeted it to his thousands of followers and went, "This is really cool. I want you to do a picture of my dog."
Yeah, that's what actually happened at first. And then if you don't mind me picking up the story from there.
Of course.
So he said, "Yeah, your work's great, Alex. Picture of my dog, that would be great." And then he said, I don't know how he got the info that I was video editor as well, but he got that information and he went, oh my god, we need a video as fast as possible. I found out later on the reason that he needed it fast was because the video was already created by this particular animator, showed it to Ginger and the rest of the Wildhearts, and he hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So I was
there
the
you go.
replacement. He needed, well, the band, the record label needed a video ASAP. And he contacted me and said, right, we need a video that is completely fucked up. We want you to go absolutely batshit crazy. We want you, feel free to use anything you want. Feel free to use porn. Feel free to use violence. Feel free to use gore. Feel free to use cartoons. I don't care. You just do it. You've got 1 week. What? Okay, I'll do that. Sure.
And I'd like to chip in, if I may, at this
Go
point.
for it.
At this moment, because I'm like going, oh my god, Alex is speaking to one of my like all-time idols. Anyone who knows Alex, I hope you don't mind me saying it. Alex, no, I wouldn't say you're a person who thrives under, high stakes. You don't need the pressure.
I don't need the pressure, but it helps,
Well, yes. So Alex messaged me and he goes, oh yeah, I'm doing this gig for Ginger. He seems a nice bloke. How do you know him? I'm like, oh Christ, I know Ginger in the way I know Bono from U2. It's I didn't say that. I just replied and went, oh, I don't remember where I met him. I just saw him around.
he's been around,
Of course. Anyway, sorry. So yes, porn, violence, fuck your face video.
Yep, that's right. And if anyone wants to know, by the way, okay, so hence comes on to the second part of this story, which is the actual video, which I'm not going to show on here. Why? Because it is against the terms of services of Twitch. In fact, it's against the terms of services of anything, really.
You can put a link to the YouTube.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I will do that right now. I'm going to put this in the chat. Feel free. Maybe not see it right now, because we're having a nice conversation here. But of course, do what you will. There's the link.
Album.
Have fun with that. Put it to the side. Watch it now. It doesn't matter. Shino's going to watch it. Cool. Thank you, Shino. Now, the video itself. My God.
1 week.
1 week, and boom, there it is. And yes, I fulfilled my my client's brief, basically. I fulfilled my client's brief. Why? How do I know I fulfilled it correctly? Because I put it on my personal YouTube channel, not to show anyone, but just to put it unlisted. So the only people that could watch it were the band. So I sent the link directly to Ginger. Hopefully they'd see it, and that would be great. That clip got pulled off of YouTube because it was too violent. It wasn't even public, and they pulled it. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
They must have bots. They've obviously got automated systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, just having a little drink of coffee here. Do you like my mug, by the way? I thought I'd go a bit classy for my coffee this afternoon.
Well, I see. It's very classy. Well, it's far classy. My Tawley of two is old from the bottle.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Awkward Owl.
less than 3 long
Good
time
morning.
no talk. How are
Well,
you?
evening.
I'm
It's
doing
morning.
well. I'm doing absolutely great, thank you. So basically, we did that. I did that. I got pulled off of YouTube, which means that I fulfilled the client's brief brilliantly. I felt so proud when that happened. I thought, yes, I made a rock video that was so fucked up. It was banned. That, by the
Well
way, it's you can still see it. It's on the Graphite Records YouTube channel. I think it's because they listed it as being not safe for work, as mature, so they could actually show it. So that's great. And I got a message. This is the best response. Now, I don't know if I told you this or not, but the response I got from directly from Ginger was the best response I've received from any client that I've ever had in my life. He said, "Oh my God, you have reasserted my faith of humanity. This is amazing. Thank you so much." It's mostly because I had to do it really fast. Not because the video's great, but because it was done in time, basically. So anyway, they enjoyed my my stuff, and I bought a record, and I got the band to sign it, and I spoke to them, which was great. Yeah, and now I just need to buy a record player so I can play it.
That'd be cool. Where did you get to meet the band?
It was in this place called FOP in London. They came over for one day, and I got to hang out with them for a few minutes, which was really nice. It was so nice. And by the way, Steve.
Yes.
We'll go back to you. You're a bit miffed, aren't you, with the band? Tell me why.
Well, I mean, if you're referring to the, to the fact that I've never got to meet them. Oh no! Are you talking about the Australia thing?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, so they're an English band. They're coming to Australia. Me and my brother, we're both big fans. We go nuts. We're like, oh my God, they're coming to Australia. Buy tickets. My brother bought 2 tickets, as in for himself to see them twice.
Yeah.
He was doing the following them around the country thing. And then it got cancelled.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh.
Yeah.
That was our only chance to see them.
Yeah, and I mentioned that directly to Ginger. I said, Ginger, I've got a friend in Australia who is a little bit miffed with you. He's not very happy, and I explained this to him. And he said, "Oh yeah, I know." He was not happy. He was really apologetic. The reason why they cancelled 10 years ago was simply because there was not enough tickets sold, and it was not their decision. It was the organizers' decision to cancel the show. And you know what? That's fair enough. That happens.
Oh yeah. Look, it doesn't surprise me. I was surprised they came out here because they're a cult band from England. No one in Australia has ever heard of them. I know they've had a lot of UK hits. They've had a lot of hits in Japan and the UK. Top 20, or top 40, not like, top 10 stuff. They've had hits in the same way Metallica's hits, but never in Australia. So I was amazed they were coming here, and I was not surprised when nobody bought tickets because no one heard of them.
It was disappointing. But hey, Ginger does apologize to you. So yeah, and he was not happy about that himself. I'm
sure not. I would have loved to have seen it. By the way, there's a couple of comments there from Shino Kara. Well, there's a number of comments.
Yes. Shino says, by the way, that was awesome. It's very graphic. Yes, it was. Yes, it is. Where did you get the stock footage? Yes. Let's talk about the actual footage in the video, because I suppose that's what I really should be talking about. That eyeball scene is the only thing that anyone really gets out of it. Which, you know what, I can understand that.
No worries.
Yeah, look. That scene came from a movie called Au Champ Endrielu. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm going to look that up now. Have a look at the... Oh yeah.
You've
yeah.
also got a question there from Shino you'll want to get to, which is where did you get the stock footage of Betty Page?
The footage. Yeah, bit at a time. Hang on. So the footage that we'll see here. Yeah, the stock
You're
footage.
not about to show it. Oh,
No. I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show
I
it.
know.
That's against terms of service. That particular scene has become famous. It was done in the 20s. Everyone sees this film as a film by, what's his name? Salvador Dali. It's not. Salvador Dali was influenced. It was the big influencer of this film. He was used it. He's basically known as part of this film in a kind of a way that Tim Burton created Nightmare Before Christmas. He didn't really, he wasn't the director or anything. He was wildly influential of it, but no.
Yeah, the way that George Lucas created Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah, exactly, right. And even today, that Eyeballs, it's a 17-minute film that was done in the 20s. That eyeball scene happens within 1 minute, and it's what no one else. It's the only thing anyone takes away from the film. Unfortunately, it's a film that's filled with very, very dreamlike imagery. It's filled with surrealist imagery, ants coming out of one's hand, things like that. And yeah, anyway, that's where that particular scene came from. To answer the question of where did the stock footage come from, I found a website that shows footage of a whole bunch of public domain imagery and videos, things that do not have a license anymore or since then. Mostly 1920s footage, hence a lot of black and white stuff. So that's where that comes from. Yeah, so if I tried very hard to make sure that nothing that was shown was copyrighted, needed. So I think that's all I personally have to say about that.
Well, actually, no. I have a few questions.
You have questions? Go on.
Yes, I do. All right. So your brief was, make the most, fucked up shit, basically.
Yep.
And you, of course, had now it would have been, I imagine, obvious to let me rephrase, an easy trap for a lesser artist to fall into, to just get, as much gore and back one after the other. And you didn't do that, as people have noticed. There are clips from, for example, Betty Page. I'm actually not familiar with. There's quite a lot of cartoon imagery in there.
Yeah.
So I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway, because I think it would be interesting for you to say. So what was the logic of throwing the cartoon images in?
Just for a bit of chaos, really. Just for a bit of chaos. And it was all mostly... Ginger personally said, look, feel free to use cartoons, whatever you want to do. And I used the 1920s cartoons because, that there's a higher chance that would be outside of copyright. By the way, the footage that I found was in the same era as Steamboat Willie. So I could have used Steamboat Willie, but I'm not touching the mouse. I mean, there's a chance that I could have used. I'm not getting that. I'm not trying. I'm not going to ever stop. No, don't fuck with Disney, people. Yeah, it was to create a sense of chaos and confusion.
Actually, look, Alex, I think it would have been okay if you'd used the mouse, because
maybe.
The way things are going, within 5 years, it'd probably own it anyway. So,
well, yeah, true. Okay. I see what you're talking about, Shino. Yeah, there was some. There was a bit.
She used her body to promote the Bible.
That is interesting. Okay, so Betty Page was a nude model at the time, considered a porn star because she was naked. That
I
is
heard the
interesting.
name.
I did not know that. I did not know that. I've learned something. Yeah, that was from
I am thinking of Betty Boo. Yes, I realised when I went back and I saw
Betty Boop. Yeah.
it
No.
said Betty Page, not Betty Boo, and I was thinking I didn't see any Betty Boo in there. But
By the way, in the cartoon that I used, Betty
Mm.
Boop was a cameo in that cartoon. I didn't use it, but Betty Boop did turn up and do her cameo and then went. So that was interesting.
I think it was better not using recognizer. And I
No,
guess
that's right. That is right. You are
it
very,
was more
very
effective if you wanted chaos. I assumed that the reason that you used the comic strips was that, the cartoon clips was. I mean, if you want, you lose shock value if you just have the volume up at 10
exactly. That's that. I mean,
the whole time. You've got to ping back and forth.
I think you articulated that better than I ever would. Yeah, you're right. If it was just gore, if it was just nudity, if it was just grindhouse bullshit constantly, it would yeah. I at the beginning, and I'm getting a little bit too technical with this now. I want to wrap this up.
Okay.
It was when it was only. I tried to do sort of random imagery at first, and then when it got to the bridge, when the rock turned into heavy metal, I started to use my personal animations that I did of some really grotesque imagery that I personally made, which makes you go, Alex, do you want to talk about a few things? And as the bridge ended, it ended with this eyeball slashing scene. So there was a bit of a build up, and then whoa, what's going on? So yeah, that's that's why that personally happened. So did the animations with the birth? Sorry, you did the animations of the birth and stuff. Yeah, I did the animations of the fetus breaking out of the of the woman.
That's what made my wife stop watching. By the way.
I apologize to your wife for showing some disgusting stuff. Yeah, so you're welcome. Now let us go forth and change the subject.
Talk of other things.
Talk of other things.
Of ships and shoes and sealing wax.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Oh, I was going to talk about YouTube. Oh, wait, last thing, before we finish on that. I like the fact that you got into a flame war with one of the YouTube commenters on this video. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I just called him I just called him a troll.
You called him a troll, and then he said, "Well, maybe some people have a different opinion."
I actually wrote a response and didn't click it because I was just going, Steve, don't feed the trolls. But
don't feed the
this guy. He wrote a negative, comment on the thing, and I just replied, "Obvious troll is obvious," So it wasn't exactly witty. And the guy writes back, maybe you just can't believe that somebody would have a different opinion to you, Steve. Like,
oh god.
And my response was going to be something along the lines of, "No, I have no. I firmly believe that other people will have different opinions. It's just when they take the trouble to write them on YouTube to people where I think it's not so much the comment anymore." You
do have a point. As soon as someone does take their personal comment and then makes it public, they're really inviting a conversation.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, there's hundreds of songs I don't like. Refrain myself from going to their YouTube channel, watching the entire clip, and then getting into fights with people about it. I was like, no, this is not an opinion. This is called trolling. Opinion is something. Trolling is where you want to fight about it.
Yes.
obviously the latter.
Well, there's
So-
a wide variety of trolling, which you could make an essay about it, but we don't have enough time to talk about that.
Let's
We
not do
have
that.
other things to. What shall we mention now?
Well, next I'm going to say I had a feeling that because it's been a while, I had a feeling that after I drank this, I would go. I have this magical alcohol point, I confess, where if I drink a certain amount of alcohol, my body suddenly goes, "My God, you'd like some more of that, wouldn't you?"
It's almost as if alcohol is addictive.
Almost. It's kind of crazy. Psychoactive substance. Anyway, I knew 750 ml tall is. I knew that would be the same, so I brought down the last of my whiskey.
The whiskey, yes. Oh, by the way, I have
Old-fashioned.
Oh, that looks nice. What's it called?
It's called Starwood, as in Star Ward, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Old-fashioned distillery-made whiskey. It's kind of what do you call it? It's spiced. It's heavily spiced. It's, to be honest,
spiced whiskey.
I didn't buy it. My cousin actually bought it. He was up here visiting, and he knows I like whiskey, and he hates it. So he brought this bottle up, and to be honest, it tastes more like a liqueur than whiskey.
Is it more viscous than whiskey?
Yes, actually, it is.
Interesting. Okay.
So the closest thing I can give you the analogy to is it's like spiced mead with the alcohol content of a spirit is what I would call it. But it's the sort of thing where you drink it and the next morning you wake up and go.
It was a great idea last night. What?
Yeah.
It's not a good idea this morning.
You don't have to drink much of it to have that effect either.
Well, yeah. By the way, I have whiskey to my right hand side now, and it is. By the way, it's rarely do I drink with you at the same time, but it's 4:00 now, so I think I'll join you with a whiskey. I'm going to use my whiskey,
Yay!
which is the famous Grouse, which is my favorite whiskey, and I'm going to pour that into my little wine glass because it's the only one that's close by.
The famous Grouse. So what kind of whiskey is that? It's Scotch, it says on the front.
It's Scotch whiskey. So so that means it's proper whiskey. It's because it's from Scotland, where it's blended in. It's the finest Scotch whiskies imported, blended and matured in seasoned oak cases to have a rich, rounded sweetness. I wouldn't consider this a sweet whiskey, but it is a flavour-filled whiskey, which I appreciate. So, chin chin, old boy.
Oh, lovely. Chin chin. There we go. Yes,
Now,
yes.
where shall we go?
Saturday.
Yeah, it's a good Saturday night. Where shall we go
It's
now?
good Saturday night.
Oh,
Well,
I
there's a few things.
hear, Stephen.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
started
yes,
watching
tell me.
this independent new program. It's called it's called Game
not
of
well known.
Thrones,
I think Game of Bones, Game of Stones,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. It has some sort of griffins flying around, something like that.
Something like that. So yes. Game of Thrones, and it's funny. This actually came up on Facebook recently. I have a thing where I don't watch TV shows that haven't ended yet because I don't like signing up for something and going, oh, this TV show looks pretty interesting, and then there's 130 hours of it, and you go, I wasn't planning on this being an 8-year odyssey or a 13-year odyssey. That's not. So I tend to watch them when they're finished, and Game of Thrones is finishing. Everybody is going on and on about it. So I'm like, okay, fine. Everyone says that I will love this show. Finally started watching it. So
And you're up to season 2.
Yes, I've nearly finished season 2. And in fact, thank you for your patience this morning. My wife and I watched 2 episodes this evening.
Yep.
And
I've forgotten what
my-
happened in season 2. I'm sorry, it's been so long. I've seen the whole thing, and I love it. And so, how did you find it? Sorry.
Look, I really like it. Actually, I can see why everybody that I would like it because I do like it. My comment, awkward owl. There we go. Well, look, awkward owl. I won't give any, I won't give any spoilers away or anything.
Neither will
but my
I. No, don't block your ears. We'll.
Well,
She's
I suppose
watching
it depends.
She's listening to a podcast with her fingers in her ears. That's not a good idea.
It's just because we're very visually interesting. That's how I'm going to take it. I'm not going to talk about the plot. I'm just going to talk about the style of it. So I love it. I consider it a mashup of. I think it's closest to I, Claudius. Have you ever seen I, Claudius?
No. No, I haven't seen them. No.
Claudius it was originally a book. It was written in the 1930s. It's in the 60s or 70s. The BBC made it into a series, and it is brilliant. It is really, really, really good. And the simple concept of I, Claudius is that it's a Roman epic.
Okay.
And
I've heard of it. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, and it begins with Augustus is the Roman emperor, claimed himself emperor. It's the end of the Republic, so he brought the Republic to an end. And the main character is Claudius, who has a stutter. He is lame. Everybody thinks he's an idiot. And basically, it follows the Roman emperors from after Augustus. And basically, what happens is everybody kills each other until the only
Very
person left.
Shakespearean.
Yeah, well, Shakespeare based it on these guys because this is actual history. The only person left was Claudius because he was too dumb. Nobody thought he was killing. So and I see we have a question lined up, so I'll have to bring this to a.
Yeah, we'll come to you. Don't worry, we are not ignoring you. We are not ignoring our audience.
Sharp. I'll try and bring this up, but yeah, the only reason Claudius ever became emperor, and this is true, is because nobody thought he was worth killing.
Ha!
As it so happened, despite the fact that he was lame, and this was a society which prided physical perfection. So you're talking about, the Greco-Roman, sculpture, as you'd be aware, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely.
All about physical perfection. So they thought if you were like Claudius, you had a stutter and you were lame, that meant you were an idiot. And it turned out, no, actually he was really bloody smart. And he was a very good emperor. And
so I like where you'll go. I like the way you're thinking here. I like the way where you're going. Go on.
So Game of Thrones, I was watching it. It's really reminding me of Ike. So, and you can draw a whole lot of analogies through it. And I'm watching it. One of the characters even looks like Caligula from
yes.
From I, Claudius. And there's all. And admittedly, yes, I know Game of Thrones is famous for killing characters, but when people die off, I wasn't actually shocked because I was going, well, that's what this story is. This is a dynasty epic.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a
dynasty. Yeah,
that's the best. Wow, I'm so glad that I'm so glad that you're talking about this. I knew you'd have an original way of looking at it, and you are absolutely right. It is a dynasty epic. Let's get ready for some proper tragic stories and just keep on going and see where we end up.
That's it.
Let me hold your hand in a violent way, and I will guide you in a rough sort of manner.
Well, I mean, that's what, and of course, that's what Claudius is. But of course, Claudius comes after Shakespeare's War of the Roses.
Yeah.
Cycle of plays, and which Richard III is the most famous of. Well, no, Richard III and Henry V are the most famous of them. And that's what they're about. It's the same sort of thing.
Well,
and that
Martin says that it's based upon War of the Roses, and I'm left going, yeah. I guess.
Well, it seems to be I Claudius. It seems to be the plot structure of I Claudius set in the world of, loosely based in Britain, basically.
Yeah.
So
If the
Yeah.
if the Roman Emperor, if the Roman Empire was based in London, this is what would be. It would be Game of Thrones,
which is
basically.
what Shakespeare's thing was. And there's a
Yeah.
couple of references. So, like the bastard, for example. There's a character in this who is a bastard, and there is a character in King Lear,
Yeah.
Edmund, who is a bastard. And so it's interesting to just see these sorts of analogies. And of course, you can see analogies to Richard III as well. And that it's someone who, there's characters where you go, yeah, you're not a very nice person, but I can see why you are who you are. And that makes me sympathize with
Yeah.
you and kind of cheer you on.
Yes. There's no good
I want
guys.
you
There's
to
no
lose.
bad guys in this show. There's no good guys or bad guys. You sort of get their characters. You know what they stand for, and you just are ready to ride this story through. You're ready, And of course, you have your favorite characters.
I'm not Game of Thrones. I'm going to spoil a scene in I Claudius.
Okay, fine.
Came out 50 years ago, so I think.
I think you're safe. I think you're safe.
Okay, so by the way, in Titanic, the ship sinks. I know, I just mind blown. So in I Claudius, there's a series of emperors. So Augustus is a great emperor, but he's very old when the thing, when the thing starts. And when he dies, he's replaced by Tiberius, who is he's a soldier. And he doesn't like being emperor. He's very bloodthirsty. He's very perverted. And I think after him comes Caligula. And there's this great, and Caligula, he just starts going, basically, he starts going crazy and he starts killing.
Quick question. Have you seen the movie Caligula?
No, I haven't.
Watch it with your wife. You'll thank me later.
Okay. All right. We can do this. So,
Make sure your children are in bed first.
Yeah, I guessed that. I've seen scenes. Oh, there's this. The scenes featuring Caligula and I Claudius. Like, even though it's done in the 60s and there's like no special effects, it's yeah. But the one which is hilarious is Caligula. He's mad and he just killing people randomly, and Claudius manages. He's trying to stay alive. That's his goal, is just stay alive. And in the middle of the night, he suddenly gets a knock on the door, and there's a legionnaire there who says Caligula demands that you come to the palace right now. And this is normally what happens when people are about to be executed by Caligula.
Yes. I see.
And he goes, "Oh fuck, I don't know what's going to happen." So, he's got to go. So he goes along, and he's hauled into this room in the middle of the night with these two other senators, and they're all going, because this is what he does before he kills people.
Yeah.
And so they're both sitting there. They're all sitting there, and they're going, "No, how did it come to this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry we did this." And then these lamps descend from the ceiling, and suddenly the whole thing is burst into light, and Caligula appears in front of him wearing a bikini, and a gold bikini, and he does this dance
all of a sudden there's a movie that I thoroughly want to watch now. No, wait, it's a series, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it's a series, and it's great.
Whoa! I need to watch this immediately. This sounds amazing.
He's just doing this dance. He's just doing this dance, and the thing is, this I was sitting there, dumbstruck, going, "What?" And then the music finishes, and then Caligula, finishes the dance, and Claudius, as soon as it finishes, because he's a survivor, leaps to his feet and applauding. And these senators notice that's what he's doing. Like, "Oh shit! Clap. It was lovely. I'm so glad that you called us here to watch your dance.
Oh my god.
It was so.
I'm
Yes.
assuming you did not see that coming.
No, and that's why I have spoiled that scene. But oh my
That's
god.
okay. I will say something that will not spoil Game of Thrones. I'll say I finished it, and a lot of people are disappointed. That's
Yes.
not that's not a secret. A lot of people are disappointed. I'm not one of them.
Okay.
I'm saying that I was not expecting that particular ending that happened.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I'm disappointed.
We've got this question, by the way, for Awkward Owl has been very patient.
Yes. Sorry, Awkward Owl. I'll just quickly
Questions?
say I am not disappointed because that's what storytelling is supposed to do. You know,
I sincerely hope. Sorry.
I'm
Yes.
I'm just very happy that I was pleasantly surprised throughout the entire series. I did not know what would happen at any point. So thank you, Game of Thrones, for 6 years or whatever years for everything. So thanks, man. Now, Awkward Owl, what's the question? Have either of you seen Vikings or The Last Kingdom yet?
I'd also like to say that when I drank whiskey from the bottle, it's only because I basically left it.
Don't worry.
Wow.
No one was judging you.
That's a still image that would look really bad.
Okay, I think I found the thumbnail for YouTube.
Oh, excellent. Sorry, yes. Have either of you seen Vikings or The Last Kingdom? I have not. I have heard that Vikings is very good.
As have I.
One of my friends who has been telling me for years to watch Game of Thrones has now told me to watch Vikings. I believe it's on Netflix or Stan. I think it's on Netflix.
I think it is. I might be wrong. I like Game of Thrones, so I'm going to watch Vikings now. I think I'd like Vikings because Game of Thrones was like a fantasy light to an extent.
Which look, one of the things because I've heard, and an Awkward Owl, I know you haven't seen it, but I've heard this. But I've heard that time travel becomes a thing in Game of Thrones.
Oh, only very, very lightly and briefly, and only once.
Okay.
And it's not one of those. You're not going to be disappointed. Yes,
okay,
a lot of people complained about it because it's like crossing the streams. It's like crossing the genre streams. Don't worry. It's brief and it's brief and it. Don't worry about it.
So all right. Okay.
You'll be fine.
It was just the reason Game of Thrones is interesting. Like and I'm actually kind of not looking forward to dragons play a larger part. Because I'm watching this going. No, I'm interested in how the people are interacting.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How I don't want this to turn into a spectacle epic. I don't want it to. It's not Ben-Hur. It's it's
not yet.
Oh yeah, not yet. That's true.
Game of Thrones is awful. Oh no. Sam says Game of Thrones is awful. Well, you know what? That's fair enough. If that's not your thing, I completely understand. My boss started watching it as well. He hated it.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, there's a couple of things there. So, sorry, I just want to say Viking is on Netflix. Good morning, Samovar. Samovar sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, anyway. They pop over every now and then, which is nice.
Yes, of course. Hello. Both on Netflix. Awkward Owl says she loves everything medieval and anything with time travel. Those are two, I would have normally said, very different genres.
Usually, but that time travel happens every now and then. For it happened in Harry Potter in one weird plot hole reversing kind of point in the movie.
Yeah, but look, if you're looking at Harry Potter picking out point.
Sorry, I didn't get that. You...
Oh, damn. Sorry. Yeah. You're watching Harry Potter and looking for plot holes. You're missing the point.
Exactly. I do not care about plot holes at all.
No,
So,
I don't.
No.
I don't. And yes, I am aware that I look like Harry Potter, particularly round glasses. You're not the first person to note this.
Oh, you're so cute, Stephen. Oh!
Wingardium Leviosa. Look, and as far as reaction like in Game of Thrones, I like it. I like it so far. I'm not, I'm not going to marry it.
Well, I'll ask you questions as the weeks progress and see how you're getting along with Game of Thrones. So
Okay.
yeah, that was the nicest reaction to someone not liking Game of Thrones. Yeah, no.
It's not a religion.
It's not. It's a TV show.
It's just.
Of course, people are gonna hate it. People are gonna love it too, and some people will go, it's all right. It's a TV show. We're all good.
I got better things to worry about, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, you have actually, believe it or not, well, a Brit and an Aussie.
Yes, you're right. We are both Brit and Aussie. Both of us are both a Brit and an Aussie at the same time.
This is true. We both are. We're both equally Brit and Aussie. The description. And
So
the weird thing is that even when Alex lived in Australia, he spoke exactly the same.
Yeah,
He's been putting on that bloody faux English accent as long as I've known.
That's because my mother from Lancashire, who does not sound like this,
No, she does
refused to let go of her English accent, and so put on a faux Southern English accent, which I picked up. And people here think I'm actually from Europe because it's really ridiculously weird. Polish or Scandinavian or some form of German thing, anything but actually English. I always say, I'm from Guildford because I thought that's funny. But then they say, no, you're not from Guildford. Okay. Usually when I say I'm from Guildford, that shuts them up. But if they continue to talk, then I become very annoyed. But
the thing is, I would say what you sound like an Australian doing what he thinks is an English accent.
Yeah.
And you're not. And to be fair, you are not the first person I've met who's done that. I actually went to university with a girl who was kind of exactly the same thing. And the thing I always found weird, well, because like you, my father's English.
Yes.
And so I grew up, and Dad doesn't speak. Dad doesn't speak with an English accent.
We have.
He's got a pretty good excuse.
Oh, geez! I accidentally put the logo of. I'm sorry about that. That was terrible of me.
People will be disappointed. Samovar, I noticed. Okay, you pointed out it's a posh accent. I'm also interested that you picked this as a Brit and an Aussie. So, now let's guess, because you see, would Brits say that, Alex? Because you're saying most Brits think that you're not British.
No,
a lot of
I'm going to guess that this Sam is not British.
A lot of Americans don't pick my accent as Australian. So I'm going to guess that Samovar is Australian, actually, because they also commented that it's an accent. So I'm guessing Samovar also an Aussie.
You're a bit of an Anglophile. Oh, all right.
That doesn't answer the question.
That doesn't answer the question. You know what? Let's leave Sam. Let's leave
it's
Sam.
All right. Sorry, I was just trying.
Let's leave him shrouded in mystery.
That's okay.
To make me think. Yes. No, it doesn't say "Whoa, smart art." That's a T.
I will. To be fair, Alex, when you first showed me it, I thought it said "smart art."
Oh, damn. Well, that's my mistake in that case for not doing a good design. Oh well, what's going on?
Samovar is Canadian.
Oh, you're Canadian, eh?
That I'm going to guess that was not not sound anything like a Canadian accent.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I apologize for that.
But it makes sense. No, it does actually make sense that Canadian pick a British and an Australian accent like this. So yes, congratulations. I spent a year in America, and every now and again I get people ask if I was English. I had somebody ask. It says two smart arts. It's a TWO son of a. But when I lived in the States, you know, people would sometimes ask if I was. The 10-second delay. Stop apologizing. But it's so. Anyway,
But
it's
I
so
want to
fun.
apologize so much.
I'm sorry we apologize too much. We apologize too much. Stop.
Anyway,
Um.
what were you saying before I
Anyway.
head over to the next subject?
Yeah, I was just saying that. Asked if I was from New York.
New York.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Midwest, and they didn't know what my accent was. They were expecting me to go, "G'day, mate. How are you? Shrimp on the barbie." And I'm going, "No, I don't actually talk like that. That's not, you know."
I wouldn't consider you Ocker, which is
No, I don't have a
term.
broad Australian accent.
No.
I've probably got perhaps courtesy of Dad. I think I've got a slightly rounded one. So actually, well, even living, you know, when I lived in northern Queensland, where everybody does
now
have
that is
accent.
a very rural place, Rockhampton.
It is, and every now and again they would ask, you know, where is your accent from? And the answer was actually New South Wales.
If in doubt, lie. That's what I do.
No, well, that was true. I said, oh, you know, I did the thing that all kids do. Oh, well, you know, Dad's English, and this makes me exotic and interesting. No,
Yeah,
I think the true answer was just that.
Welcome to the club, my friend. Chin chin, old boy.
Yeah, I know. I went with that. Sorry, yes.
So I want to. Oh God, I've come to the. Let's. I want to quickly do this one thing before I do anything else, because I want to strike this off the list very quickly. Every week there's something that makes me very embarrassed for my generation, that everyone starts to complain about the latest trailer that's going on. Whether it is the genie from Aladdin, everyone's complaining about the.
Are you about to talk about the Sonic?
Yes, people are complaining about the Sonic trailer.
To be fair, I can see why.
I know, but there's better things to whine about.
That's true.
The Guardian. The Guardian.
Yes.
The Guardian,
yes.
which is, you know, supposed to be proper journalism, had 3 articles about this trailer. 3.
Oh, dear.
3. This is not people. This is not a Reddit post where YouTubers say, "Ah, this ruined my childhood. Look at the teeth. Look at the teeth. It's terrible." No, this is the Guardian. What is happening? What's going on?
I don't know, but you're right. It's just pointless.
I know every now and then newspapers have to fill their stuff up with fluff. I understand that. And I actually like The Guardian. But you know what? No!
I know. There are bigger things to worry about.
I've got nothing really to say apart from what's going on.
Oh, dear. No, I know.
I could complain about millennials, but Steve, this is another thing that's happened.
Available to humanity.
What?
We want them here, and we want them now.
Sam now follows me. Thank you very much, Sam. I didn't realize that you weren't a follower. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much. We try and do this once a week. We usually don't, but we try. We try.
By the way, I know it's going back a bit, but Awkward Al, yes, Aussies are awesome.
Yes, I agree. I agree, mate.
Right. Yes.
You love complaining about millennials. This is another thing. This is another thing that I find annoying. Steve, we've got a division. I found an article a while ago. Turns out, yes, don't you hate it when I read articles? I hate it when I read articles.
I try and hide them from you.
Yeah, I know.
When I visited you, I just ran around the house and I turned paper,
sorry about that. Yeah.
paper over magazines.
Yeah.
So yes.
Steve.
Sorry, yes.
Turns out there's a tragedy. Turns out. Remember the days in which we like to talk about our generations, and then there was a boomer generation, the forgotten generation, the X generation, the Y generation, the Z generation, and then the new millennials. Remember that? Remember those days?
Yeah. I do.
Now none of those exist. Now there's just boomers and millennials.
What?
Yes. And the cutoff point is 1983, the year I was born. So you're a boomer now, and I'm a millennial. So we've been divided, man. Generations have been Brexited.
I'm not a baby boomer.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I think that's silly. I've seen. I love the way that this has shifted. Like, do you remember, like when we were talking about this the first time? We were Gen Y.
We were both Gen Y. Yeah, you were right on the cusp. You were right on the cusp, but you said no. I am Gen Y. I'm one of you.
Well, it depends who fits the. Who draws the. Yeah, the thing I find is that you never hear I mentioned anymore. It now seems to go Gen X, millennials.
Yeah, I think so. Gen X
Centennial?
You're a centennial, baby? What does that mean?
I think means born after 2000.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. The actual dates of births are not important. That is very, very
I agree. No, I agree with Samovar. My statement is, this is my bold statement. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Generational thing we go on about is it doesn't exist. It's bullshit. It's not real.
Yeah, let's all can we please start to agree upon that? Let's try and actually talk and complain about proper things rather than how millennials keep on buying avocados and stuff. By the way, that avocado generation bullshit that's talking about, okay? Let's talk about avocados for a small second, okay? My M&S, my Marks and Spencer's down the road, sells avocados in bulk for £2. £2 for 8 avocados. Avocados are not expensive anymore. Stop blaming avocados. It's not important.
Samovar says that I don't know Samovar's gender. Has to leave, I assume, because I made light differences between generations. But yes. Sorry, mate. That's just my view. Because I remember, and I know I'm jumping back. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right, Alex. I don't think avocados are a deal. It's just, it's not really generational. It's just, you know what? Trends change. Like foods change.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard. My grandparents' generation thought that eating stir fry was foreign food.
Exactly right.
My parents' generation happily eat Chinese, but often they would get weirded out by Indian. We're not. It's like this isn't generational.
Things just evolve. Things just evolve.
Yeah.
Rice was once a delicacy. Pasta was once a delicacy before World War II.
Yeah, well, now you mention it. Yeah, well, like these things, it's just trends. There's no meaningful difference between the generations. When I remember when I was, going on Generation Y, they kept saying things like, Generation Y, they're just not interested in long-term planning. And I would say, yes, that's because right now your average Gen Y person is 22.
Yeah.
They don't want secure jobs, and they're uninterested in home ownership or children. Wow, I bet they also don't get hip replacements. That's got nothing to do with it. If this trend continues, then all of the medical industry built up around arthritis bankrupt. Like,
oh,
So-
I've missed your angry logic. We need to do this more often. I really.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do.
So
I
let's
know, some of
try
us-
and get through these things as fast as we
Let's
can.
move on.
Because,
Let's move on. Sorry, yes. I understand you disagree with me, Samovar. That's very interesting. We're going to move on, or we're just going to be debating this. I
Yeah,
feel.
we'll get into a debate, and we don't. Oh, I don't mind a debate, but we have other things to talk about. I would like to talk about the BT logo, unless you have something that you want to talk about first.
BT logo? What are you talking?
Yes.
What is the BT logo?
Okay. Well, if you click on that link, that's next to the thing. Here.
Yes.
So
I'm
you should
looking
see
at the-
Microsoft right now.
Yes, Microsoft changed its logo. That's true. I
Okay.
missed
So
that.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, recently, within the past couple of years, there's been a trend of big companies, changing their logos to have more simplified and flat logos. Okay, Microsoft is a good example.
italics. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
Microsoft is a good example. We need to be more corporate. We need to be more serious because we are Microsoft. We need to take over the world corporately and efficiently, and we are very serious. We no longer have italics in our name. We must show everyone that we must stand tall and be
They also
simplified.
don't have bold.
That's right.
true.
We are not bold. We are thin and important. That's what is
And
going on.
grey.
And grey for some reason. I don't know why. So if you
Alright.
were to follow
Yes.
along with me, Steve, if you could click on the
Okay.
left arrow of
On the
Flickr.
left arrow, sorry.
We're
Yes.
going to do the left arrow.
Yep.
Google did this as
Yeah.
well. Although Google, I don't think this worked as well, because now Google just looks like children's stamps okay, so Google
Yeah.
so Google
Google
yes,
has also changed this.
yes let's
Simplified.
what else needs to be corporatized? Apparently a children's television station needs to be corporatized, because this is a serious cartoon program.
That's right.
Nickelodeon, man, remember those days in which it was cartoony and stuff? What is this, a cartooning streaming program? No, we need to be more corporate, because this is a serious
agree.
network.
That's right.
Yes, if you
Very-
so the next one,
Very serious.
next one.
Yes.
Right, so this is the BT logo. This is
Okay.
the old BT logo, and BT clearly
What is BT? I've never heard of it.
BT is British Telecom.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
It is basically our generic telecommunications
Phone service. Okay.
thing. So this is BT's old logo, and clearly this needs to be more corporate. Look at this. What are people having fun? We can't have people having fun with a ball of circles. What is this?
I agree.
We can't have people having fun. So, are you ready? Are you ready, Steve, to see the new BT logo?
Show me, Alex.
Here we go. Click on the arrow. Here we go.
All right. Oh my lord. That's awful. That's really bad.
What's going on? What's going on? Can we please?
Can the people following? Don't know.
Oh, they can see this. They're watching this. I'm showing
I
you.
see,
I'm
right.
showing everyone. This is stupid.
Awful. Oh dear. All right. Awful. Oh.
So let's try and break this down. I've decided to use this. I've decided to bring this up because this is Two Smart Arts, right? Rarely do we.
Yeah.
We like to talk about art and TV shows and movies and music.
It's true.
Everything. I thought we'd talk about design for a little
Okay.
bit. That's
Yeah,
in the
that makes-
category, right?
It is.
So the reason why I wanted to show you all of those other logos is because I think it's important to know that the direct result, the reason why we've got this as a logo is because of this trend that's going on to just make things with very simple fonts, no serifs, and very flat. And the end result is BT saying, let's make our logo look more like a copyright infringement notice.
It does. I think, because some of us commented just like if you enlarge the letters, it's just it's so dull. It's remarkable. Like it's almost
It's so much of it's so simplified. It's not even a logo.
actually it just occurred to me this, and I have not, as both of you gentlemen have, ever designed a logo. But something about all of those other logos, the Microsoft one, Nickelodeon, even simplified, they still conveyed a personality.
Right. Okay, so let's go back.
Yeah, that has stripped the personality out. Like that could be anything. That could be a person's initials. That
Exactly.
could be a city.
Yeah.
That could be that could be a street sign.
Yeah, it basically looks like a street sign. It looks like a something that the government has set up as saying, right, this is standard. This needs to be done. It's like someone went out of their way to say, let's make something as forgettable as possible.
But you see, all of those other ones, like, sorry, I'm reading the comments.
I think the trend is towards a nondescript logo, the point being it represents the company, but is unoffensive, which brings us nicely back to millennials. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just...
I just don't think it conveys anything.
It says absolutely nothing.
If go back to the... Oh, well, I'm glad you stumbled on the stream, some of us.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So, like, if you click back, let's just click back to one of those
where do you want to go?
Let's look at the Nickelodeon one.
Okay.
I just want to see, look at the new logo. Let's see what it communicates without looking at the old one.
Okay.
So, is that up?
Yep.
Okay. So, what does it communicate? Well,
I'll tell you what. It is not a common font. It's something that I think has been. Font. I think it's something that has been constructed personally for the company. I like the design of the little eye being a little goopy thing, kind of like a reference to the old logo. That's kind of nice. I like that.
But if you had never seen the old logo before and you were looking at it, goopy, the orange play, like that's not a common. You wouldn't look at that logo and go, you wouldn't look at that logo and go, that's obvious bank.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't think that is a bank. Also, it's a very you're right. Not many logos have that distinct orange. Apart from the company Orange, of course.
I think it's an original font, and at least I haven't seen it. The way it does it, particular.
Oh, there's a lot of familiar things about it, sure, but I think Nickelodeon invented that font personally for that thing. You can find things that are very similar, sure, but I'm quite sure that Nickelodeon...
There is not a lot of consistency across the letters, which is Samovar just pointed out. I'm guessing that's probably because for the K and the E, for example, you want to make it clear what the letters are.
Yeah.
So, but the point I wanted to concentrate on is what does it communicate?
Sure.
The unusualness of the font, the brightness of the color, communicates a sense of playfulness.
Sure, I agree.
Which does communicate something about Nickelodeon. So let's click on to the next one and see what it communicates.
So Google.
Yeah, let's take a look at Google.
Google really went for this logo. They really wanted to convey some form of identity. They really push towards this medium Futura, which I believe is the font that was used, except for the E, which is slightly tilted a bit. It is medium Futura, but with a slight tweak to the E, and that's it. And they really push towards the colors. Every time you see the G on its own as a simplified version of the Google logo, it's got all the colors in there. If I don't excuse me, I don't have that particular logo on there right now, but each time you see the G on itself, it has all the colors right there. So it's trying so hard to purvey. We've got these 4 colors represent this particular logo, so it has a personality. Google has a personality. I don't particularly like the personality, but it's there.
Well, what is it? Sorry, I just saw Stanify. I find this quite interesting.
Oh, go on. What's Sam talking about?
He says, I assume when you create a font, the more variety, less expression, which is, and Samify, you apologise too much, sir.
Yes. Oh, you're apologising for being a pretentious twat. Well, let me tell you.
You're in good company.
You are in good, if you are a pretentious twat, you're in good company, good sir.
So, yeah, okay, I see what he means. Commenting on the Google one, what I would say is that I don't think it conveys much of a personality instinct.
It doesn't have a person. You're saying this new Google image?
I don't think either of them have a person, really. I mean,
you know
maybe
what, fair enough. They're trying so hard, but they're not really saying much, are they?
Well, it looks to me like the logo that somebody created when went, what is our company? Does everything. Okay. All right.
They could have used Comic Sans there. You know what? I think Comic Sans sums up Google better, but whatever. No, I think they went for the good. The variety of colors and the font, which is Futura, are a good combination. But when put like this, it just looks like a children's playtime area. Honestly, that's how I see it. If I didn't know what Google was, I'd immediately think, oh, Google must be some sort of child minding center.
Actually, yes, that's true. That's what I would think too. But at least I suppose communicate something.
Yeah, the point is they're trying. They're trying to do something. Yeah. They're not quite sure what to do, but they're trying.
If you jump across to Microsoft, you can see that does seem to be conveying.
You know what? This works. This is the only one that really works.
Yeah,
they're saying, right, you know what? We're a boring company. Let's try and make our logo look as boring as possible. Do we have to?
I think it's.
Do we have to maintain our Windows? We do? Okay, well, let's mute the colors a little bit then. We don't want to be too colorful because we're very boring.
It looks like efficiency.
Yes, it looks efficiency. Microsoft's the only one that actually works in this new era of flattening and simplifying the logos.
Yes, all of them better than BT, because I think all of them communicate a thing.
Yeah.
At the BT one, which doesn't. Anyway.
Yeah. This has gone too far. This has gone too far, people. Let's please acknowledge that.
All right. On this cheery note, we've been chatting how long now, Alex?
We have been chatting for. I'm gonna put the logo on there so you don't see behind the scenes, people. Oh, I don't need. Oh no, we've just been chatting for 1.5 hours.
Oh, there we go. So
we haven't been chatting for too long. But
Norvalissa commented, when did you get a beard, Alex? Norvalissa, you haven't tuned in for a while, I'm guessing. How long
yeah,
have you
I've had it for a good portion of this year.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know when I decided to start growing it, but it's been growing for a while. It's a seasonal thing, and we're going into the summer months, so I might get rid of it relatively soon. Because I miss my face.
Sorry. I just saw, sorry, Sanafar's comment. Guess what? That logo is local program.
The logo is almost identical to a local news entertainment program where you live. Sam is I'm interested with Sam because Sam is a breakfast
television. There you go. You see, it doesn't.
Wow.
It
could convey anything. It could convey breakfast television. It could contain. It could say, Brexit Tea Party. You know, it could convey.
Oh my god! I'm just imagining a mixture. I'm just bored of theremin. Oh, there you go. I'm just imagining a mixture of Brexiteers and Tea Party.
The Brexit Party and the Libertarian Party combined do not make me think. I'm so tempted to go into politics right now.
No, let's not go into.
I'm so tempted to do that because a lot has happened.
It's true, but look, we've been speaking for an hour and a half. It's past 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm very sorry.
I should no, not at all.
But it's been lovely to have your company again.
Yes, you too. Take care, sir.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone for.
Thank you,
listening.
everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. And well,
it's been great. And let's see if anyone is annoyed that you decided to turn up and see me paint something because I inadvertently put art instead of podcast. I apologize. If you want your art fix, right now, it's okay. We'll let's raid Bob Ross because he's someone that needs raiding. No, he doesn't. Did you know that Bob Ross streams, Steve?
No, I did not.
Bob Ross he's dead, but he streams.
Okay.